Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, hello Batong, BT here. Hopes everything is okay with you, especially with the current situation with the COVID happening all around us.
Hi, BT. It doesn't look really good. We have many projects that are on hold and customer not paying up and management likely looking at various ways to reduce costs and expenses, and we may think of a layoff plan.
Wow, that's not really good, huh? I actually can feel the frustration here because I hear many of my customers are having the same situation. So what is the company doing right now actually at your place? I mean, they cannot just let the situation happen over at your end, right?
I do agree. The finance team and the sales team are trying really hard to claw back again any aging payment from customers. And for the remaining projects that are still ongoing, we have limited and reduced resources working on them. And for the sales guy, good luck to them and us. So BT, what this call all about?
Well, Batong, I'm just calling because I'm concerned with all my customers, and I really want to see how the current COVID situation is impacting their business. So, and more importantly, want to see how we can actually help them out there. So, in addition, I thought it'd be interesting to share with you some of the customers who are making progress during this tough period of time, and it might be something that you will find interesting, and you might want to help you in one way or another. Is this something that you'd be keen to hear about?
Well, I guess there's no harm in listening to what others are doing. Does that we may not have the kind of money to invest right now?
No worries, Batong. The purpose is to share and to see if there's anything you can pick up from which you might find actually helpful. So not to sell. No, don't worry about that. So in times like this, I think it's better to be human than to be a, than to be a salesman actually.
Oh, thank you for that, BT. Please share with me.
Sure. So I had a chance to speak to quite a few customers. In fact, I've been calling them for the last couple of days. Many of them are actually compelled to work from home, just like you and me. So I realized that some of them are actually struggling to make ends meet. Some had to find a way to fulfill projects which they had to work from home instead. And the last group of people that I thought was interesting was some of them were actually booming during this particular time, believe it or not.
Interesting.
One common thing I also realized out of these three groups of people, they are beginning to realize that they need to change the way they work. Not just now, but from now and into the future. Is this something that also relates to you, Batam?
You're right, BT. The world will never be the same. We keep thinking about this, and we are asking ourselves what should or what could we change to get through this COVID-19.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Batam. So the current situation is resetting the minds of many businesses. So these customers we know of, they realize they now could not afford to structure their design team in clusters. So they're rethinking the way they structure the team to make sure that they're more fluid, more flexible, or more mobile. So for example, many are now exploring the possibility of having the teams operate remotely, making use of remote solutions, not just to design and simulate, but more importantly, with a solution that allows them to collaborate and communicate with their team members using the same exact platform. So it's interesting to hear that because some of these customers that we have were really skeptics about the solutions that we talk about. But now because they are being forced to use such a solution, the feedback they gave back to us was quite interesting because they finally realized the benefit of using such a solution during tough times like this today. So they told me specifically that it actually addresses their workload a lot and minimizes a lot of risk imposed to them when it comes to working remotely from home.
Okay, I'm not so sure about placing documents on the cloud though. I use cloud for myself, but for professional documents. I'm not sure it is a good practice, and now management is concerned about security as well.
Interesting you bring this up, Batong, and really very valid points. So let me ask this question to you, Batong. Are you not currently storing any designs of your projects using Dropbox, Google, and such currently? And all as a consequence of have to work remotely from home.
Totally true.
And are you not also concerned about the version controls that you have for this particular documents, especially when sharing with your teammates? Because you know the risk, right? The risk of penalties, of errors, the possible cost of rework, at the same time, project deadlines. It's can be quite scary, you know.
Right, I do agree.
In terms of security concerns that you mentioned earlier on, I think this platform actually runs on hosting providers like Amazon, which I think we're all familiar with, and the likes. So do you think these established firms really risk their security and not invest heavily in solutions to protect their own server farms?
You got a point there, but certainly such a platform solution is going to cost a lot.
I'm glad you are thinking right now, Batong. So how much do you really think such a solution will cost you today?
Well, it could be anything between 20 to 50K, or maybe possibly more.
I prefer not to jump the gun into details, but what if I were to tell you probably a fraction of what you were expecting, it's all it costs, depending on the size of the team and the types of apps you will actually use?
Really?
Yep. So that's the reason why our customers are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, you know. So here's my suggestion, Batong. I don't think it's right for me to sell you anything during such a difficult time, I'll be honest. But I think it might be wise for you to spend just a little bit time to look at how people do things using this method. And if you don't really like what you see, you know, just take it as extra knowledge, you know. So, but if you see there's something possible for you to explore with your current situation, maybe we can find a way to work things out with the minimum investment required. Does it sound fair to you?
Sure. Even though I work from home, my schedule is very tight. However, I certainly need all the help I can get.
Great. So let me take a look at my calendar. Would Tuesday 10:15 a.m. or Wednesday 3:20 p.m. be a good time for you?
Wednesday 3:20 sounds good to me.
All right. Let me take a note on that. Okay, so let me recap this, Batong, in a simple email after this. But the purpose of the next session is really to remind all of us that it's for you to understand how the platform is being used to mitigate to these situations. So who else do you think is probably important to be involved in all this? I can also send them an invite for that.
I guess my other colleagues in my project would need to see and feel this. I will send them a note as soon as I receive your email.
Great. So sounds good. Before I go, any expectations you may have for that particular session?
Okay, I would like to see. I would like your guys to show me how the design can be done on the cloud, with some simulation, of course, and how the version control is mitigated. I'm also concerned about the latency.
Points noted, Patong. So I'll make sure these are all addressed during that particular session. And meanwhile, stay safe and send all my wishes to all at home. And I'll see you next Wednesday, okay, Patong?
Sure. Stay home. Stay safe, BT.
Thanks, Patong. See you.
Bye.